In the silent chambers of human consciousness, there lies a labyrinth of unspoken truths, a vast landscape of shadows where memories curl like smoke, trapped behind invisible walls of protection and pain. Each heartbeat carries the whispers of forgotten moments, of dreams suffocated before they could breathe, of potential buried beneath layers of unconscious defense mechanisms that shimmer like mirages in the desert of personal experience. We move through life carrying invisible weights, intricate emotional architectures constructed in childhood, fragile yet monumentally powerful structures that define our every movement, our every choice, our every retreat from the possibility of genuine connection and profound self-realization. The human psyche is a delicate ecosystem where wounds bloom like dark flowers, their roots intertwining with our deepest fears and most carefully guarded secrets. These internal landscapes are populated by forgotten versions of ourselves, by silent children who watched, who learned, who internalized the complex language of survival long before understanding its profound implications. Every successful moment, every glimpse of potential greatness triggers an ancient alarm system, a primordial mechanism designed not to protect, but to maintain the familiar terrain of limitation and self-imposed boundaries. Imagine a soul that has learned to disappear precisely when life begins to illuminate its most cherished spaces, when success threatens to dissolve the carefully constructed walls of perceived safety. This is not mere coincidence or weakness, but a sophisticated dance of psychological survival, an intricate ballet choreographed by memories too painful to confront directly. The mind becomes a master of disguise, transforming potential triumph into elaborate scenarios of retreat, transmuting golden opportunities into shadows of uncertainty. Your journey through this psychological landscape is an invitation to witness the invisible mechanisms that govern human potential, to explore the hidden corridors where dreams are both conceived and systematically dismantled. Feel the rhythm of your unconscious narrative, the subtle tremors of suppressed longing, the quiet rebellion against your own expansion. In this moment of recognition, of profound introspection, I invite you to embrace the power of understanding, to like, to comment, to subscribe to a journey of radical self-discovery that promises to unravel the mysteries concealed within your own psychological terrain, transforming the very fabric of your existence with each breath, each insight, each courageous step into the unknown realms of your most authentic self. The landscape of trauma spreads like an underground river, invisible yet profoundly influential, carving silent channels through the bedrock of personal experience. Each moment of apparent success becomes a treacherous terrain where the wounded inner child trembles, sensing danger in the very light that promises liberation. Our defense mechanisms are not enemies but intricate guardians, ancient protectors crafted from the most vulnerable fragments of our being, standing watch over wounds too delicate to be exposed to the harsh winds of potential rejection or transformation. Memories drift like phantom limbs, their presence felt in the inexplicable moments of self-sabotage, in the sudden paralysis that grips the spirit when opportunity beckons with its seductive whispers. The body remembers what the mind has carefully concealed, storing pain in muscle memory, in the subtle tension of shoulders, in the rhythmic constriction of breath, in the silent language of cellular resistance. We are walking archives of unprocessed experiences, museums of unexpressed grief, galleries displaying the most intricate exhibitions of survival strategies developed in moments of profound vulnerability. Beneath the polished surface of adult functionality, a complex symphony of suppressed desires and unacknowledged fears plays continuously. Each successful step becomes a potential threat to the carefully constructed narrative of safety, triggering ancestral survival mechanisms that transform triumph into a landscape of psychological quicksand. The mind becomes a master illusionist, crafting elaborate scenarios of retreat, transforming golden opportunities into labyrinths of doubt, transmuting potential breakthrough into familiar terrains of limitation and self-imposed boundaries. In this delicate moment of recognition, suspended between the known and the unexplored, I invite you to witness the profound complexity of your inner world, to like, to comment, to subscribe to this journey of radical self-understanding. Embrace the courage required to look beneath the surface, to hear the whispers of your most authentic self echoing through the chambers of unconscious protection, to recognize that your patterns of disappearance are not weaknesses but sophisticated languages of survival, intricate maps drawn by a soul learning to navigate the treacherous waters of human experience. The path of psychological liberation is not a linear journey but a spiral of continuous revelation, where each layer of understanding peels back another membrane of perception, exposing the raw, beautiful complexity of human potential. Your inner landscape is a living, breathing entity, constantly negotiating between the desire for growth and the primal need for preservation, dancing between the light of possibility and the protective shadows of familiar limitation. Every breath is an opportunity to rewrite the unconscious narrative, to transform the silent language of survival into a powerful anthem of self-liberation. The descent into the unconscious is not a journey for the faint of heart, but a profound excavation of the soul's most hidden territories. Here, in the cavernous depths of inner landscape, the fragmented self confronts its most intimate shadows, where memories pulse like living entities, breathing with the weight of unspoken truths and unexpressed pain. The boundaries between reality and psychological projection dissolve, revealing a terrain more complex and treacherous than any external world could ever comprehend. Imagine the mind as a vast, intricate palace of infinite rooms, each chamber housing a fragment of lived experience, each doorway guarded by memories too painful to acknowledge, too powerful to completely forget. The fragments of self scatter like broken mirror pieces, reflecting distorted images of who we believe ourselves to be, who we were forced to become, who we might have been had the winds of circumstance blown differently. Childhood wounds become living entities, shape-shifting monsters that inhabit the corridors of adult consciousness, their whispers echoing through the most intimate spaces of personal narrative. The confrontation with one's shadow is a brutal process of dismemberment and reconstruction, where the carefully constructed masks of functionality crumble, revealing the raw, pulsating core of human vulnerability. Every repressed memory emerges like a ghost, demanding recognition, screaming to be witnessed, to be integrated into the complex tapestry of personal experience. The body becomes a living archive, each muscle, each breath a testament to the unprocessed traumas that have shaped our most fundamental responses to existence. Impulses surge from the deepest wells of unconscious knowing, voiceless yet thunderously present. They are the forgotten languages of survival, the primordial wisdom that has protected us through generations of unspoken suffering. The invisible wounds carried from childhood are not weaknesses but intricate maps of resilience, complex navigation systems developed in moments of profound vulnerability. They speak in the language of sensation, of intuition, of cellular memory that transcends rational understanding. The fragmented identity reveals itself as a constellation of experiences, a complex ecosystem of survival strategies, each part holding a fragment of truth, each fragment holding the potential for profound transformation. The internal landscape becomes a battlefield and a sanctuary, a place of both ruthless confrontation and infinite compassion. Here, in the most intimate spaces of psychological exploration, the lines between pain and potential blur, creating a luminous threshold where destruction and creation dance in an eternal, breathtaking embrace. Memories rise like tidal waves, carrying the salt of unprocessed emotions, the weight of unspoken stories that have shaped entire lifetimes. They crash against the carefully constructed walls of adult rationality, demanding to be seen, to be felt, to be transformed. The inner child, that most vulnerable, most powerful aspect of self, emerges from the shadows, no longer a phantom but a living, breathing entity holding the keys to profound psychological liberation. In this moment of absolute vulnerability, the self stands naked before its own complexity, stripped of all protective illusions, confronting the most intimate landscapes of personal truth. The pain becomes a portal, the wound becomes a gateway, the fragmentation becomes an invitation to a more authentic, more integrated way of being. Each breath is a negotiation between the known and the unexplored, each heartbeat a revolutionary act of self-reclamation. The process of reconstruction is not a linear path but a spiral of continuous becoming, where healing emerges not from erasing wounds but from transforming them into landscapes of profound wisdom. Imagine the self as a living tapestry, where each thread of pain becomes a strand of unexpected beauty, where suffering transmutes into the most intricate form of personal alchemy. The fragmented pieces of experience begin to realign, not into a perfect whole, but into a more expansive, more compassionate understanding of human complexity. In this delicate moment of integration, the invisible becomes visible, the unspoken finds its voice, and the deepest wounds transform into portals of unprecedented potential. The body, once a battlefield of suppressed emotions, now becomes a sanctuary of profound self-knowing, each breath a testament to the extraordinary resilience of human consciousness. The childhood memories that once haunted now become gentle teachers, whispering the most profound truths about survival, about transformation, about the infinite capacity of the human spirit to transcend its most challenging limitations. The boundaries between pain and possibility dissolve, revealing a landscape of infinite potential. What once appeared as fractures now emerge as intricate pathways of growth, each moment of previous suffering now understood as a complex language of survival, a sophisticated mechanism of protection that has carried you through the most challenging terrains of human experience. The inner child, no longer a wounded fragment, becomes a source of profound wisdom, a lighthouse of intuition guiding you through the most intricate landscapes of personal transformation. Consciousness expands beyond the limited narratives of survival, embracing a more profound understanding of human potential. The psychological defenses that once protected now reveal themselves as elaborate works of art, complex survival strategies crafted with the most exquisite intelligence of the unconscious mind. Each pattern of retreat, each moment of disappearance becomes a sacred text, a profound communication from the deepest parts of your being, inviting a more compassionate, more expansive way of existing. The universe speaks through the language of your most intimate experiences, transforming pain into a portal of unprecedented understanding. The body becomes a living manuscript, each scar a sacred text, each breath a revolutionary act of self-reclamation. The boundaries between individual experience and universal consciousness blur, revealing a more profound connection to the intricate web of human experience. In this moment of ultimate revelation, I invite you to embrace the full complexity of your being, to like, to comment, to subscribe to this journey of radical self-discovery. Witness the extraordinary potential that resides in your most vulnerable spaces, the profound wisdom that emerges from your deepest wounds. Your path of transformation is not a destination but a continuous unfolding, a sacred dance of becoming that transcends the limited narratives of survival and touches the infinite potential of human consciousness. Let this moment be a threshold, a profound invitation to step into a more authentic, more expansive version of yourself. Your journey is a sacred text, your pain a portal, your resilience a testament to the extraordinary capacity of human consciousness to transform, to heal, to rise beyond the most challenging limitations. Embrace your complexity, honor your journey, and step into the infinite potential that has always resided within you, waiting to be recognized, to be celebrated, to be lived in its most profound and authentic expression.